What is up, everyone? We are back talking Schmo Down Talk today. That is what it is. Battle of the Schmoes, episode 4 here. We got some great, some fantastic stuff to talk about today. Me and Cody both here talking some fantastic stuff in the Schmo Down Talk, and we hope that you guys will be joining us either on iTunes, SoundCloud, or on YouTube, whatever you guys want to talk about, whichever platform. But that's what we're talking about here. We're talking Schmo Down. Some great matches happened this week that I thought were a lot of fun. Not a high-scoring games, but some nice fun, some nice new competitors. And really, I think we should just get straight into it. Before we get into it, though, Cody, why don't you introduce yourself again, of course, my friend?
Hey everybody, how's it going? Yep, I'm back here with Zach. My name is Cody Curtis. I'm ready to talk about this. We got some new competitors and we got some old ones returning, and it was so great to see. Guys, thank you for showing up. And if you're here from SoundCloud and iTunes, just to reiterate what Zach said, you guys are all rock stars. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for the support, and thank you for listening. Zach, why don't we get started?
Yeah, no, you're right. Let's get straight into this. I think we should start with superhero news. I think we should start with the superhero news versus box office breakdown. Of course, we've both seen these teams together, but obviously with different competitors at the time. And I have to say, I liked the match. It was nice. It was cute. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, no, I don't have a disagreement there. I thought it was a very, very enjoyable match. You know, we aren't really in the championships right now. We're just introducing new teams and new team players to the games. And for introductory matches, I thought this was pretty good. I thought every competitor in this match, they did a great job.
Yeah, but of course, box office breakdown came to show. I mean, really looking at these people, the new teammates we have here. We got Frank and Amy from Team Box Office Breakdown, and I think they have a nice future here. I wouldn't say they're one of the starring rights, but I think we all said that about Team Action last year. Team Action, I think, came out of nowhere and really were some of the most fun competitors to watch, but also one of the most fearless. And I think maybe they could show up to be that, but I think they'd be more of heroes. But also looking at Team Superhero News, you got Sean and Sabina, and I mean, let's be honest, Sabina was probably one of the sweetest competitors I think we've ever had in a just, I mean, Sabina, actually, you know what? I got this totally wrong. I'm totally saying this right. Did Superhero News won, right? Over Box Office Breakdown, or am I wrong?
No,
Yeah,
Box
Superhero
Office
News won.
Breakdown.
Superhero News won. No, Superhero News won. Oh my God, I cannot believe I just got that wrong. I am so sorry for everyone watching this. I got the two teams mixed up. But no, seriously, Sabina and Sean were great competitors in this. But going back, honestly, Box Office Breakdown, they were cute. I liked Amy, and I liked Happy Go Jackie. That's his Twitter name. But I overliked Amy. I thought she was one of the nicest, sweetest competitors we've ever had in the Schmodown. And Superhero News came to play again. Like I said, I think they could be the next Team Action, not in the heel category, but more in the hero category.
No, I completely agree, Zach. Yeah, I mean, in all honesty, where everything is going right now, the Superhero Box Office Breakdown, it was a great match. I thought it was a lot of fun. And I mean, come on. This match kind of made my heart want to melt. It was kind of adorable, but also kind of heartbreaking to see. That the fact of the matter is, it was kind of a crushing defeat, but it was great to see. I mean, seeing new competitors in the Schmodown, I can't really complain. It was great.
Yeah, no, completely. I really like that. And then of course we can go to the next match. I mean, before we get really moving on to the next match, I do want to say, like, the Superhero News versus Box Office Breakdown was a cool match. I thought they had some really cool questions in there. I mean, just scrolling through some of the questions, they were very easy. Like, honestly, like, I would have gotten a perfect round that first round. And some of them were a little too easy, like the Beauty and the Beast question. Where's Emma Watson? Where, not Emma Watson. Where's Belle from? Like, where does that take place? Duh, France. I thought that was an obvious one.
It was. It most certainly was. And you know what, guys? Before we move on, Zach is right. The first round of this, pretty easy. In fact, I thought everything up until round 3, I thought was pretty simple. Some of the questions here and there, you know, it's kind of like last week for me for the introductory match. I thought some of the questions were easy, some were difficult, as it usually goes, but this was just a great show of showmanship and just a great overall match to begin with. And you know what, guys? Before we even continue on to the next match, we need to remind you that at the end of this video, you need to start forming them now. If you've got questions, they need to be specifically either Schmodown questions or what Zach and I think about the Schmodown, and just leave them some questions and we'll get to them at the the end of this podcast. But right now it says that the Technodrone says he's seeing Black Panther tomorrow. Technodrone, that is great news. But Zach, let's move on to the next match, shall we?
Yeah, nope, of course. Let's move on to the next match. And the next match is Jeannine the Machine versus Bonnie Somerville. Now, this is one of the matches that if you watched last or listened to last week's podcast, you guys know I'm a big fan of Bonnie Somerville. This is one of my most anticipated matches. And of course, Jeannine the Machine, let's be honest, she's on Jay Washington's crew. And Jay Washington, big props to him. I'm glad to see him already back. I know he had throat surgery, which is horrible, man. I can't imagine having that on you. But it's glad to see him back. Glad to see him with some ferocious energy in here. And this match was my favorite of the week, probably. You know what? No, it will. It will. Even though the other match was cute and it was nice and some of the questions were a lot of Disney-fied and I got it, this was a really good match between Bonnie and Jeannine because we finally got to see Bonnie Somerville again. This is someone we haven't seen since she faced Makuga, and I really liked it. Now, given some of these questions were way too easy, and I'm like, Bonnie, come on, girl. You should have gotten these. But Jeannine the Machine, she came out on top at the end, and I think she utterly deserves it. I can't wait to see where she goes next. But again, Bonnie Somerville did a good job, and I hope this isn't the last time we see her for a long time. I hope we get to see her again soon.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Bonnie Somerville, she's a singer, she's an actress. She does pretty much everything under the sun. She's extraordinarily busy, but I've been following her since the early days of the Schmoedown when Bonnie Somerville, she wasn't just, she wasn't just a competitor in the Schmoedown. She was also a regular guest on the Schmoes Know podcast. She was also somebody who would come in and would be a presenter for the U Reviewers Awards. She's been very active with the Schmoes, with Christian and Mark and everything that they've been doing over there. And I was so happy to see her return. Although the match didn't go in her favor, I think it went into the favor of the fans because we all got to see Bonnie Somerville come back. And it was just utterly great. And honestly, this match, once again, I thought it was just okay. Once again, thought it was fine, very enjoyable, but just okay.
Yeah, no, I can get what you mean by the okay. It was a very low-scoring game. A lot of these last two matches have been very low-scoring games, which is a little disappointing. But, I mean, we're really building up. We're getting some new competitors in here, which is nice. I mean, you and me are in a part of a fantasy draft league with a bunch of other great YouTubers. But, I mean, this is the thing, is that a lot of these people we haven't really picked because they're all new people to the league, which that's what I like about this, though, is it kind of opens me up to see where are these other people from? What are their YouTube channels? What other entertainment medias are they from? Because then it kind of opens a door for me to go check out their stuff too if I like their personalities on here. And like looking at Box Office Breakdown and Superhero News, I'm gonna go check more of them out because I like seeing that. And of course, this match with Jeannine the Machine versus Bonnie Somerville is a really great addition to the whole Schmoedown and the start of it. I will say though, Jeannine the Machine's attitude is just such a badass, and I love it.
Absolutely. You know what? It actually kind of reminds me of Sarah Connor from T2. Though when she got all buffed up and she trained and she got super, super strong, that's the kind of attitude that we got from Jeannine the Machine. And you know what? Just like the film suggests, Jeannine the Machine, she was an absolute Terminator when it comes to going up against Bonnie Somerville. And of course, the questions after the matches were done, the interviews. It was great to see, there wasn't a team top 10, there wasn't a JTE. I felt everybody was pretty fair when it comes to this, celebrating and then talking about how they could have been improved. Just overall, very good and surprising sportsmanship for this week in the Schmoedown.
Yeah, no, totally agree with you on that. There was a lot of good showmanship, a lot of good rivalry. I wanted Jeannine the Machine versus Bonnie Somerville round 2 again because that was really nice chemistry right there, going back and forth. I will say though that there was one question that Jeannine the Machine got that she missed. There's 2 of them actually. One being the Moana question. Now, at first, of course, you're gonna say Maui because Maui's the one that shapeshifts. But I didn't even I even said, oh yeah, Maui, and then I was like, oh wait, no, that's wrong. The grandma. And I'm like, Bonnie, come on, get this. Bonnie, come on, get this. And no, my other favorite question Jeannine the Machine got, which actually brings me to one of my favorite anime films as a kid, and I actually have it right here, right next to me. And it's a little film called Surf's Up. Now, this film, if you know yes. Who voices the main character, it is the great Shia LaBeouf. Looking at when she went to multiple choice, you see Joseph Gordon-Levitt, you see Justin Timberlake, you see Edward Norton, and you see Shia LaBeouf. Your last thought is, It's not Shia. It's not Edward Norton. It's probably JT or JL. And she went with JL, and Bonnie Somerville went JT, which were actually pretty good guesses. But if you're not a kid like me at heart, you're not going to know that, of course, it would be the great Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, the great Shia LaBeouf. And if you guys know Shia LaBeouf, then you know his phrase to just do it. Unfortunately, though, Bonnie didn't get the question right, and she didn't just do it. But, like, I mean, guys, I can't really complain about the matches. Like I said, I'm over the moon that Bonnie is back, and I'm hoping that she'll stick around longer this time. She's an actress, and of course, everybody who works in California, in the Hollywood, in the film industry, they're very busy, like 24/7 all the time. But, you know, hopefully she'll find some time to where she can stay with the Schmoes and get some stuff done. But, I mean, this was just awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree. I really liked her scene in there. And I mean, a lot of those anime questions, they were nice. Again, a lot of these questions I would have gone right. I mean, you can kind of tell. I feel like they kind of par like how hard are the questions the competitors. You gotta throw some strengths, some weaknesses in there for everyone. And I want to see more of this whole thing in general. I really enjoyed this match. And of course, Ken Knapsack seeing Christian Harloff, them all back again is just some of my favorite stuff in the whole Schmoedown. And again, I love just the talking. But the one thing I did forget to mention about Brock's Offers Breakdown and Superhero News that I do want to go back to is it was great to see Rachel Cushing monetize talking and commentating with Mark Ellis. It was great to see her. I love Rachel Cushing.
Yeah, no, the hosting of this whole entire week was great. I mean, we had Mark, we had Rachel, we had Christian, we had Ken, we had Mark, we had the entire gang. And Rachel Cushing, we've already discussed that we feel that she's going to be the one to take this whole entire competition by storm, because Rachel Cushing, it's her and the rest of the women's year when it comes to the Schmoedown. And once again, we got to give praises and accolades to everybody who is in charge of running the Schmoedown, to hosting it, to Christian and Mark for creating this game show. Everything that they do for the show, it just one-ups itself almost every single time. It doesn't always, but this game is fantastic. And Mark and Christian, thank you so much for creating this. You guys are awesome. You guys are great hosts when it comes to this show.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're some of the best hosts on YouTube in general. I love seeing their back and forth. Mark is a funny guy. Christian, he just is the style of WWE itself into the movie trivia Schmoedown. But guys, we're getting toward the ends of this. Obviously, this wasn't a big week for the Schmoedown, so make sure to comment down below. Leave some live questions if you're in the live chat. I know there's a couple people watching. If we get some live questions, we'll be discussing them. If not, then cool. We have next week to talk more Schmoedown, because that's what this podcast is about. It's talking Schmoedown with all of you great people. But also, there's some other great things coming up. I mean, there's a ton of great matches coming up. And I mean, in general, like, I can't wait to see where we go within the movie trivia Schmoedown.
It's going to be interesting for sure, especially we know we got the championship matches coming up, and the one I'm most looking forward to is Team Top 10 versus Team Patriots, because we know those personalities, they're going to clash, and it is going to be entertaining to see. It's going to be a clash of the Titans. It is going to be just flat out amazing. And of course, as we've already established, the amount of personality and energy that goes into each one of these episodes, especially towards the championships, the competitive nature, it's something else entirely. It's fantastic.
Yeah, no, I agree. Now, I am looking up right now who are the next few matches to be coming up, and I want to discuss this. So obviously, if you're a Patreon member, you already have Makuga versus Scarpino up. Actually, we won't be talking about that until next week, of course, when it actually goes live. I don't want to do any spoilers for that. And same with Bibiani versus McWeenie, which will also be with next week. But that will be a big match. Bibiani versus McWeenie. But before that, on February 27th, we have a big match against people that we don't know. It's the Kingsmen versus the World's Finest. Now, no one knows who these teams are, but there's a lot of things going around of what rumors could it be? Who will be these people? Do you have any guesses to who the Kingsmen or the World's Finest might be?
The Kingsmen and the World's Finest, to tell you the truth, at this stage in the game, it could possibly be anybody. I'm really hoping that it's somebody that we've never seen before, though. I really want it to be somebody we haven't seen before, and they'll come bursting out of the gate, and they'll be one of those competitors that is just on the level of Rachel Cushing, on the level of top 10, and on the level of JTE, to where they're just unstoppable.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. I love the names for both of them, but you know what I will say? I'm looking up a theory right now. Someone's
What's
saying
the
World's
theory?
Finest, Kalinowski and Brienne, and the Kingsman is Stacy and Jeannine. Now I don't know if I totally believe that one, because looking at it, I think it's some people that maybe a team that we saw in the award show for the Schmoedown that maybe would have been in there. But I will say, if that's the matchup, that's going to be a fantastic match.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And here's the thing, the World's Finest, if that is Brienne Chandler and Mike Kalinowski, I'll just say this, the name fits. That's
Yeah,
all I
no, I
gotta
totally agree.
say.
Plus, they're on my Schmoedown fantasy draft, so
Oh
please
yeah,
do good.
lucky
Please,
you.
please do good. Plus, I have Stacey Howard for singles, because Stacey Howard is the Jessica Rabbit of all smart things in the Schmoedown knowledge. Now, the last other match I do want to bring up is that McQueenie versus Bibiani. That is two of the best competitors in the Schmoedown, going head to head. Bibiani, the Beast, and McWeenie, the Godfather. I mean, they're some of the smartest people in the Schmoedown. I cannot wait to see what they do.
Yeah, you know what? This is some intense stuff we got headed our way. It really, really is. I mean, Bibiani versus McQueenie. This is like two mobster gangs going up against each other. I mean, this is like the FBI versus the mob inside of The Departed. This is the I mean, probably a really, really bad analogy, but this is just two powerful heads going up against each other, and it's going to be impressive when it gets here, and it's going to be one clash of the Titans.
Yeah, it literally is a Clash of Titans. Pretty much Hannibal Lecter versus the Godfather. That'd be a pretty good comic movie. Or not even a movie, a comic book they'd be pretty good at. But guys, it looks like not a lot of people are giving questions out today. I know we kind of did this at a weird time. It's usually not as normal time. We'll be getting back to our normal time later on. Me and Cody have a ton of great things planned. So I think this is where we're going to end this podcast for this week. Of course, next week will probably be longer since we got 3 matches to talk about. And almost all 3 are pretty big matches. Hopefully none of them disappoint. I think Makuga and Scarpino is probably going to be one of the most entertaining matches, to say the least. I mean, Makuga is one of my favorite players. I love Makuga to death. But guys, really, I think that's going to be it for this podcast, A Battle of the Schmoes. Cody, tell them where they can find you at.
Oh, yes, I will, Zach. But before I do, there's one big announcement we had to tell everybody. Guys, if you've been following us for any length of time, you know that we've been talking about this consistently and constantly, but tomorrow is finally the day. Tomorrow is the launch of the Sweet Film Awards, everybody. It's going to be released part 1 on my channel, and part 2 will be on Zach Pope's channel. Part 1 will be tomorrow. Part 2 will be on Monday. And it's going to be released 2:30 Pacific Standard Time. So guys, we hope to see you there. We hope you show up, because this is a labor of love. We've been excited to get this out to you guys. So please come and join in on the fun. And we are hoping to see you there. But guys, you can follow me on Twitter at _Cody_Curtis. You can also find me on Facebook at Cody Curtis. And of course, here on YouTube at just search Cody Curtis, and it'll be the first name that pops up.
He is right there, guys. And of course, you can find me right here on my YouTube channel where this podcast is being streamed from. Find me at Pope the King for my Twitter, and Stardust and Instagram. I'm pretty sure just Zach Pope, or I think Instagram is Zach Pope with 2 H's. But of course, come make sure to join us. I see some people are leaving. I see some people finally joining the chat. So it's nice to see Ryan, Anthony, and John all in here. And yeah, guys, so if you guys are catching this up later, make sure to comment down below and tell us your thoughts. Make sure to check us out on SoundCloud and iTunes as well if you're on the go. And you guys are all the best. Thank you so much for joining. And I do want to give one more shout out. If you guys do watch this, I am doing one more live stream later today. I am talking about Annihilation, a spoiler review with John from The Real Talk. So that's going to be really fun. I just have to plug that, of course. Make sure to look out for Sweet Film Awards tomorrow and Monday. That's going to be a ton of fun. And you guys are all the best. Stay classy.